Hey everyone, welcome back to A Reason to Talk. My name is Max, that is Alci, and today we are tired.
Yeah, we're quite tired. We're recording on a Saturday, which is not
Yeah.
normal for us.
No, it's not. It's extraordinarily abnormal, in fact.
Yeah, yes it is. That it is. Yes it is. That it is. Yes it is. So,
Want to hear my eulogy from my professor?
yes, please. Yeah.
I talked last time about I have a class. It's a comedy writing class. It's a narcissistic professor. But
Yep.
our assignment today, not today, but our most recent assignment is to write a eulogy for this man.
hmm
And I'm going to read what I came up with for my first
I'm
draft.
very excited.
And then his feedback, because I have both now. Okay. Hello, everyone, and thank you for gathering here today at the finale of our Shiva. We start by acknowledging the anchors in Professor Life. Actually, do I need to bleep the name? Because he's like a public figure. He's on MSNBC.
Yeah, but he's like your professor, and you're actively calling him a narcissist.
Professor's Life. His family, who show incredible strength here today, his dogs, and of course, his wondrous TA.
Oh, is that the
atop
TA
this
you're
tall
in
Jew-
love with?
Standing atop this tall Jew's legacy, I consider that moment when I first met him. On the 8th day past his birth, I was summoned to his parents' side. Daunted with the task of performing my first bris. It was a quick procedure, his parents draped in white, the candles around the table. He didn't even cry. Then, when he was 11 and petrified of the ideals of being a, quote, hipster Reaganite in contemporary America, he wanted his foreskin back. As a man of the cloth, I of course oblige. However, that moment now lives inside my skull as a permanent reminder of my fatal mistake, my terrible menorah to bear. For if I had not given him back the end of his manhood, he might not have died of that horrible self-fellatio accident. May he rest in peace, intact as the day he was born.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
this is effectively, he died trying to suck his own penis.
Yeah. Okay. Enough of the Shakofka, Max.
Let's fucking quote Richard and Mortis. There's Australian Rick and Morty. We need to watch that.
There's an Australian
But,
Rick and Morty?
It's not real. It's like fan made.
Oh, okay. You excited me.
So do you want to hear his criticism?
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah, I need to log into my account,
Okay, well,
and I'm gonna.
let me
You Phil.
So I got back on Hinge out of boredom, and I'm doing a lot better this time for some reason. And I got a couple roses, which boost my ego. That's like the very special likes that you get limited ones of.
But
There's this one girl I was talking to. I don't really want. Okay, we were talking about like special skills, right? And I was like,
Sure.
"Do you have any special skills I should know of?" And she sends me a Spotify link to a song called "Throat Goat."
You know, you were kind of asking for that. You were fishing a little bit.
I was.
Yeah.
No, it was a pretty genuine conversation. I was caught pretty off guard. I'm not gonna lie.
You were absolutely fishing.
No.
Yes.
We were literally talking about, like, well, I don't want to reveal more information about her, but yeah, it was a very genuine conversation, and then bam. And then, so what if I was fishing? I caught something, didn't I?
Did you follow up?
Yeah.
Nice. Is this something you're gonna pursue? Because
Probably
I don't
not.
know.
I'm a man of
Men
God.
are pigs.
I'm a man of God.
Men are pigs. Men are gross. They are pigs.
No, she lives in New Orleans, and I go to LSU, so that's a pretty far drive. That's what it is.
If she's linking,
I'm gonna
the
cut this
throat
whole
goat.
section out and put it on the Patreon. That's what I'm gonna do. That's
Do
what
that.
I'm gonna talk about your little.
Because then we'll have to
eulogy.
record because then
Talk
we're
about your-
gonna have to record for longer.
Talk about
than
your
we need.
eulogy. Talk about your eulogy.
So immediately, the first comment on the first line is, "So this is a joke, but it needs to be called back. Who would say such a crazy thing and why?" Which is a really good preconditioner for the rest of this.
That reminds me of something else going on recently. About somebody's tweets throughout the day. You hear about that?
I saw them.
You saw them.
If we're talking about Mr. Ye himself.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Anyways, he says, basically, it's just all. This could be very funny, but you rushed it. You have to build these jokes. Good
Fair enough.
ending. Yeah, you need to connect all the paragraphs to one another. I didn't realize the final draft of this is 25% of my grade. I didn't realize that.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Maybe it's 20%. It's either 20 or 25%.
Max.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Oh, no, I'm all good. I'm all good. It's only 10%. All good.
Oh my god.
It's one of 4 writing assignments total. But it feels good. I've made some changes. I want to know what you think of the rewrite, but that might not be a pod conversation.
Yeah, no, we can. And I'm still mentally recovering from something I did this week.
What'd you do, bud?
I did it, Max. I did it. I will.
For context, I asked if he kissed the girl when he kept saying he did it, and he said, "Ew, gross, no."
Yeah, for real. I watched every piece of Wallace and Gromit content ever made in under 24 hours.
Did you go to classes?
I just didn't sleep. I had Wallace and Gromit to watch.
Oh, that reminds me. I watched a terrible movie, but I'll let you go.
I watched some great movies. And I watched them all, so feel free to look up my last 12 Letterboxd reviews.
12? Dude, that's a problem.
It was totally worth it. I kind of feel like the rabbit in Curse of the Were-Rabbit, that's like half Gromit. Like half of my thoughts are Gromit. I mean, no, Wallace. Now it's all just blurring together. I will say this. Best Wallace and Gromit film is The Wrong Trousers, and I will die on that hill.
Is that the new one?
No, it's the second one they ever made. It was
Okay.
It's actually essentially what the new one is more of a direct sequel to.
Oh, that's cool.
Because the new one is about Feathers McGraw, one of the greatest villains in cinematic history, and I'm not even joking when I say
Feathers McGraw.
he is one of the greatest villains in cinematic history. That's not even a joke. And it is Vengeance Most Foul. It's about his return.
Can I propose the villain in Leave the World Behind, which is the terrorists?
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, Max watched Leave the World Behind. I watched that a while
really
ago.
Bad.
It was
really bad.
Here's the thing about that movie. Since when did Mahershala Ali become such a stud, dude?
I think he's been a stud.
He was famous for things like Green Book, in which he's notoriously
I think he's been a stud. This is my first Julia Roberts movie.
I've seen him, and that's a crazy statement.
I don't know what I would have seen him. I haven't seen Pretty Woman.
Have you seen
the other things she's been in?
Ocean's 11.
She was in Ocean.
Yeah, she's
really?
The wife. She's
I
George Clooney's
barely
wife.
watched
Or
Ocean's
ex-wife,
11.
sorry,
I
ex-wife.
hated Ocean's 11.
You hated Ocean's 11?
Barely watched it.
It's
I
a
don't
lot
like
of
heist
fun.
movies.
It's a lot. It is the only one I can bear.
By the way,
all other heist movies are copying that heist movie. That's the.
Before this goes too far, I have glasses now.
Oh yeah, Max.
One semester of computer science, and my vision turned to shit.
Yeah, and he also wears sweaters now. Audio listeners, Max looks very fancy today.
Or like an old woman. I'm somewhere
Are
in
old
between
women
fancy.
not fancy?
Some are.
I think that's one of the fanciest demographics.
Some are throat growth. Some are throat goats. Some this is ranges. Don't, Alci, women aren't a monolith. That's why I stand with all old women who are throat goats and who are fancy. And you can be both. I'm going to make that clear. It's not a mutually exclusive declension. But I have glasses now.
Yep.
And yeah.
Now I really want to cut out the
hate
hinge section so that it sounds like that came out of absolutely nowhere.
you do that, and I'm finding an editor tomorrow. That way we can record more. And you have no power.
Okay, but anyway, the best Wallace and Gromit movie is The Wrong Trousers. And then, although it's not like the best movie, the second most Wallace and Gromit
God
movie
fucking-
is
Fucking.
what?
I filled out 2 lines of information for varsity tutors for computer science, and since then, I have gotten 17 calls. They texted me and they said, hey, can we text you about this? And I said, no, can I do it over text? And they said, nope. And they've sent me, I blocked their number and I reported it as junk. This is a different number. They've called me so many fucking times.
They're gonna find, they'll find you if they need to. Wow.
That I've never not wanted to give someone my business for something I completely need more.
Hey, they must have something really important to tell you if they're calling that much.
It's to get me a tutor.
I know. So yeah, second best Wallace and Gromit movie. The second most Wallace and Gromit movie is A Grand Day Out, the original, the one where they go to the moon for cheese.
Nope.
And then probably the third most Wallace and Gromit movie. I'm stuck between A Close Shave and Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Personally, they kind of like go. A Close Shave is actually Shaun the Sheep's origin story. So yeah, he was actually a Wallace and Gromit character before he had his own thing. Bet you didn't know Shaun the Sheep was a spinoff. And then I put Vengeance Must Foul. It was a lot of fun. I really liked it. And then there was a bunch of other things I had to watch, like a 3-hour thing called Wallace and Gromit's World of Invention. And that was just like a documentary. That was like a Bill Nye style thing where it was like a 6-episode series with 30-minute episodes where they just highlighted cool inventors in the world. And so only like the first and last 2 minutes were actually Wallace and Gromit of each episode. But it was worth the watch. I learned more from that than I did my entire first semester of college. And then there was something that was really hard to find, which was Wallace and Gromit's Musical Marvels. And that was a live concert that was done with a bunch of British people that just came together to listen to some orchestral stuff. And then Wallace and Gromit, Wallace had written a musical piece that was going to be shown on. And then, but, stuff keeps happening, so the concert keeps having to go on with other stuff. And then Gromit, of course, has to save the day because it gets destroyed. And he has to write and then plays violin with an incredible thing. And then this violin soloist they had gets to do a duet with Gromit, which is a great honor. Before you were cheering for Wallace and Gromit, that is like our best performing YouTube short. Did you know that?
It's our second best.
Well,
our best is one with a woman.
It has more likes though.
Is it actually?
At least on Instagram, actually.
No, not on Instagram. The one on YouTube has like 70.
No, on Instagram, it has more likes than the one with DJ. But yeah.
Yeah, but not on YouTube. I'm checking the YouTube now.
Mm-hmm.
Guys,
yes, like this video, and we'll
don't...
bring more women on the podcast for you.
I don't know if we should agree to that. 9+ notifications? Josh Hutcherson.
What? What about Josh
Nothing,
Hutcherson?
Sorry. No, DJ was looking at DJ's comments. God, what was I just about to say? I like Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, Wallace and Gromit is awesome.
Wallace and Gromit's good. Oh, it's the only other one to cross like 650 views.
Yeah. The people.
Besides Truman Show 2. Truman Show 2 actually is our highest viewed episode.
True. But the people want more Wallace and Gromit, so I think we should dedicate the rest of the episode to this.
No,
because then there's...
Because that'll be a really boring conversation, because I haven't seen it.
Because then Max, there's also this, like, a bunch of, like, 2-minute shorts about Wallace and Gromit, where they're making various inventions. That was a lot of fun. And then also, there's a couple of, like, minute-long shorts, and one of them is just, like, a thing that's promoting some like Jubilee convention or whatever it's called. I don't know, British stuff. And then there's another one which was an ad for Google Hangout, which Shaun the Sheep, Wallace and Gromit, and the main chicken from Chicken Run are on a Google Hangout call. So that was a crazy crossover. I'm a Wallace and Gromit expert now. That's what I'm trying to say.
I want to illustrate the difference between our experiences, and I think the best way to do that is to. So
I'm just
this is what
crackers for
you've been doing.
cheese.
Now I want
No crackers, Gromit.
I'm gonna read
We're
you
out
a
of
question.
crackers. No, we forgot the crackers. That's what the line is.
I want to read you out a question from my homework assignment.
Yep.
Two rockets of equal length, when at rest, are passing head-on at relativistic speeds. As shown in the figure below, observer O in the ship of the right has a gun in the tail of her rocket pointing perpendicular to the direction of relative motion. She fires the gun when the ship F and the back of the other ship B prime coincide, the center image. In her frame, the other rocket ship is contracted. Therefore, O expects her bullet to miss the other rocket, but in the frame, the observer O prime is the rocket ship of O that is measured to be contracted. Therefore, when points F and B prime concede, observer O prime should observe a hit. Does the bullet actually hit or miss? Explain. Pinpoint the looseness of the language used to describe and state the problem and the error in the diagram that we gave you.
You know who knows a lot about rockets?
Hitler.
Wallace.
Okay, cool. It's just okay. Not only is this really an annoying question to understand,
made of cheese, Gromit.
Not only is this a really annoying question to understand because it uses length contraction and like relativity paradox rules and stuff, and simultaneity rules, and the Lorentz equation, because you got to use the Lorentz equation kind of to conceptualize it.
Of course.
The extra annoying thing, I can hear you clicking away. The extra annoying thing is the fact that the first question is, how are we wrong in explaining this to you? Try to understand, fucking.
How could we word this question better?
Yes, literally. It's literally, how have we worded it confusingly? How could you word it better? So that's what I'm doing. Fucking length contractions.
Yep. Colin Farrell and Kristen
Simultaneity.
Milioti both won lead actor and lead actress for The Penguin at the Critics' Choice Award for lead actor and lead actress in a limited series. So, yeah. Yay.
Yay.
Anyway, whatever you were just talking about, I don't know. Another thing about our YouTube short, did you see our one comment on our Sean Astin short?
I can see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah.
And I was hurt.
A guy that
literally.
Sean Astin
quite
is a
literally-
national treasure, dude.
I
It's a
quite
compliment
literally,
that you look like him.
Within 3 minutes of reading that, reached out to Georgetown Athletics, and I have booked personal training. I'm going back to personal training, and I've been working out more. First time on bench in 7 years, and I was putting up like 180.
Dude, I think it's a compliment to say that you look like Sean Astin. I love Sean Astin.
That's cool.
Do you not love Sean Astin?
I don't know him.
Oh, right. You haven't watched anything.
I've seen Leave the World Behind.
I don't know why you
In the
picked
first-
that of all the things you could have
Because
watched.
I like Ethan Hawke, and Julia Roberts' name is familiar. And I'm like, oh, this is on Netflix, and I'm bored, and it was in the Netflix top 10 for 8 weeks. So I put it on and thought, man, this sucks. And then I ended up skipping through a good amount of it because no, you can't judge that. The cinematography was really pretty,
Yeah.
and the music was good.
Coloring was interesting.
I actually didn't mind the coloring too much.
No, I meant more like their use of color. I mean, what they filled the frame with.
That's true. There was a really interesting use of color.
Yep.
But I thought the storyline was pretty terrible and boring and played out
Yeah.
and repeated.
And Kevin Bacon's here for some reason.
Yeah. Then you made me watch you made me watch.
I didn't make you. I recommended it to you. I didn't think you would watch it.
Highly recommended
And I didn't think you'd watch it that
500
night.
Days of Summer. And I got 30 minutes in through my phone and was miserable and spent the entire rest of the night and day and even till now thinking about my ex. So thank you, Alci.
You're literally him, dude.
You know I'm going to text her, right? This is your doing.
Finish the movie, please. Finish the movie.
No.
Finish the movie.
I refuse.
Get to the
I
expectations
refuse.
versus reality scene before you text your ex, because you're going to get some expectations and they're not going to meet your reality.
Okay, having a negative reality might help me get over her.
So watch the movie that makes you feel like shit. What kind of, like...
Why would I do that? I don't want to think about her. I want to move on because, dude, okay, this isn't a cutout bit. This has very rare to happen. There's a girl in my physics class who is not only one of the prettiest women I've ever seen in my entire life, she's laughing at some of my jokes.
She has a terrible sense of humor too?
You're a piece of shit. Yeah, but it's just crazy. This never happens. But she doesn't have an Instagram, which kind of sucks.
That's a green flag, I think.
Yeah, but I have no way of contacting her outside the class.
Speak to her.
Shut up. I could do what someone else did. I got another kid in my comedy class sent me an email inviting me to Shabbat. And so you know what? I was out of town that week, so I went the next week. I went.
What is a Shabbat?
His parents were there.
How does one Shabbat?
What? Oh, man.
I've heard the term, but I don't know the actual definition.
I thought you were friends with Stella. Okay. Basically,
you think this is what we talk about?
There's Shabbat services, and then there's a Shabbat ceremony. Shabbat is the Friday night ceremonial thing, whatever. There's services where you kind of closing of the week, and you talk about the Torah portion of that week, and you talk about a lot of it is just kind of like a prayer for those who are ill, if you have family members, and then it's a lot of singing and prayers and whatnot. A lot of bullshit. I don't really care. I go for the food, and I go to socialize. And I was invited. His parents are there. He says a total of 10 words to me throughout the whole event. Says, all right, thank you for coming. I got to go to a dinner. See ya. I drove to campus for this.
Okay.
I was at home, and I drove to campus in rush hour for this. I then luckily talked to the rabbi who thanked me for coming, and she's cool. And then, thank the Lord, a friend of mine invited me to like this dinner, like a dinner at a... all of them are upperclassmen. I was like one of the only freshmen. But invited me to a Shabbat dinner.
It sounds fun, though. Hanging with a bunch of upperclassmen.
I'm going to be honest here. I can't do well with normal people who I don't know. It's pretty terrible.
Yep.
Because they don't know my sense of humor. So I just would make jokes that would just completely fall flat in front of the entire group. And it would make me feel miserable.
Maybe you don't need to make jokes.
Well, otherwise, then I'll just sit there quietly.
Maybe you could ask about them and get invested in their lives and show them that you're interested in what they do.
They're all kind of really boring.
Okay, fair enough.
I trust me, I tried. Like, okay, 2 jokes. One of them fell flat, and they were talking about oh my god, they're the most Jewish. The whole ceremony is about how Jews complain and yell at each other, which is very, very inherently true. And they were complaining, of course, at this Shabbat dinner, how the rabbi said no non-kosher food in Macomb, which is our little Jewish square, and then she was like, she didn't say anything, but she brought a full Chick-fil-A milkshake, which is not the kosherest of foods because ice cream's not allowed, and most milks aren't allowed, but a milkshake is all good, and so. Hi, Coda. I guess people are in here while I'm podcasting. Hi. I'm recording.
We're just showing him your room.
Anyway, we're returning from a quick break because
I had unwanted guests.
Yeah.
So milkshake, whatever, from Chick-fil-A.
Max doesn't like his dogs entering his room.
Kinda, yeah. When they just went in the forest and they have a ton of mud on them.
Oh.
And for the first time in like, I don't know, 6 years, my room's clean. And so they were alleging that, like, well, the Chick-fil-A workers aren't Jewish. They don't know how to make Jewish food. That's not fair. And I was like, well, I don't know. I think they're Jewish. I've seen them all wear kippahs like all the time. See, it just completely fell flat. No one said anything. And then after, I'm like, that was a joke. It did not go over well. And they're like, see, you said it too serious. And I'm like, okay. Second thing I said, which actually I think did kind of land, was they were complaining because it's like, What's the difference between milkshake and ice cream? It's just like you could just have it through a straw. So why don't you just like the way to convince her is to have other non-kosher food through a straw? And I'm like, yeah, technically you can eat mashed potatoes through a straw if you try hard enough.
No.
That
mashed
somehow
potatoes not
actually
kosher?
worked with them. They can be made not kosher
How?
because if they're like, well, if you don't use kosher salt, if you don't use
There's
a lot of
kosher
reasons.
salt?
That's one of the biggest things because it's
How did I not
the
know
way-
this? Jewish
it's
people
something
are
with iodine.
crazy.
they're just weak. It's like they're normies. They're normies, and they're not that. I don't know. Boo is my opinion on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, where was I going with this? Yeah, so I was just
I'm not sure.
invited to Shabbat, immediately dropped. Immediately. We exchanged 10 words before you left. Went to a shitty environment, went home to continue building a computer. Oh, I built another computer.
Of course you did. This is
yesterday.
what, 10? 10 now? 11?
5. It's 5.
100 days of summer?
Not gonna say it. Not gonna say the magic words. I want to. I'm not going to. Are you looking at the
Jesus
topic,
Christ,
Jen?
I have so many topics.
You have a lot.
How do you think I'd look with a middle part?
We've talked about this a few times. I think you just need a haircut.
I do need a haircut right now, but a bunch of people I know are trying to convince me to get a middle part, and then a couple of people who I trust a little more say no.
Do you know how easy it is to get a middle part? You take a shower, and then you just... and you do that twice.
I'm
and
going
you have a
to
middle
show
part.
a picture. We sent it to the general chat a while ago. I like to call this guy sex offender Alci. And it's...
You like to?
Yeah, because that's what he looks like. I don't like him, but that's what I like to call
Fair
him.
point.
But yeah, so my friend put my hair in the middle part and then told me to put on a filter with facial hair, and I look like a different person. And not
If
a
you
person
grow
I
it
like.
out, it's different than if you don't.
That's what I'm. Yeah, they want me to grow it out.
Yeah, because then you could have the McConaughey look. But depending on how long it takes to grow out, it's probably going to look shitty for a while. That's why I don't have a middle part.
Anyway, I don't like.
Because it looks shitty for a while, and then it takes a while for it to look good.
Yep. I have more topics. This one's a quick one. You know, whatever this ICE is, or ICE. You heard about this whole
Yes.
fiasco? Is it just me, or is it starting to
Yes.
remind me a little bit of Children of Men?
That's just you.
Do you not remember?
British immigration is different. They're similar. It's all very different.
Do you not remember Children of Men?
I remember it very well. It's closer to Sicario. No. But it is kind of fucking whack. I know I've been hearing of of literally documented legal immigrants in the country and people who just look brown that were born here.
Yeah.
Just being deported.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty fucking terrible. The people in charge of US aid and Doge are our age and maybe a year older. They're children, and they're dipshits. Actually, I can't share this. I'm not going to share that because I don't want people to get in trouble.
I'll move on. Oh.
I do want to... I like politics, but you don't
No, I
want
have
to talk
something
about
better.
politics.
So I saw something recently about people trashing on the original plot of Daredevil Born Again. Did you hear? As you know, Daredevil Born Again was actually retooled, and there was a bunch of reshoots, and it was supposed to come out a lot sooner. So basically, you watched Daredevil. You said you loved it, so I'm going to talk about this, okay? Jesus. I'm a film major. I don't have a lot I can give input on. You know, you actually kind of like stop the flow of the podcast when you do that, when I try to talk about something, and then it just makes the whole thing slow and bad for viewers. Instead, you could try making jokes about it or something and keep it light. But no, you just hate putting work in, don't you?
Make content out of this. Silent treatment.
So anyway, do you want to know the original plot of Daredevil Born Again?
Not really. I like being kept in the dark. I like twists.
Well, the original, it's not. It's changed. This is not the show now.
Okay, fine.
Karen and Foggy would have been killed off screen. That's the bad part.
What?
Yeah, so they wouldn't have brought the original actors back. They also recast a couple of other people. Like, they had recast Vanessa for, like, no reason.
What?
So it was going to be, like, a full-on reboot.
Ugh.
But then it was going to be focused more on legal stuff for the first, like, 10 episodes or so, and he wouldn't put the Daredevil suit on back until, like, episode 10. Hear me out. I kind of like that. I would want to see that. Well, okay, so
Go on.
they're saying that he wouldn't put the suit on. I don't know that that means he wouldn't do any vigilantism, because if you're talking about the Daredevil suit, he doesn't put the Daredevil suit on until the finale of season 1 of the original show, and then it's gone at the finale of season 2, in between season 2 and 3, and the whole show he's wearing rags again in season 3. And those are the best eras of the show.
The suit's in it, to be clear. It's just worn by Dex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Counterpoint. Have you watched engaging legal shows?
Yes, Better Call Saul.
Beyond Better Call Saul.
There's definitely been a couple, but it's
You're shooting too high.
Daredevil season 2.
Especially-
The whole Punisher thing in Daredevil season 2.
That was okay. That was like, in terms of legal stuff, the actual legal part, an episode total. B, you want to talk about shows owned by Disney in the Marvel property.
No. Yeah, by the way,
that do legal stuff.
Well,
you want that.
But they didn't do any legal
you
stuff.
Want that.
They said
Okay.
She-Hulk was going to be a legal comedy, and that actually kind of piqued my interest. That was bullshit. She-Hulk was terrible. It had nothing to do with legal comedy. It was just a poor attempt at comedy set in a courtroom. And
Did you watch it?
I did watch She-Hulk.
Damn.
Because Daredevil shows up in episode 8.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of glad they didn't, because the only ways that most people, not Better Call Saul, but most shows have done engaging legal content, because legal shit is very boring, is shows like Suits, which is
Yeah, and I'm not talking about Suits. And here's what I'm saying, Max.
it's one of the most popular legal shows.
By the way, Max, literally...
Or LSU, or not LSU,
NCIS? Fucking, I don't know.
no, it's Law and Order SVU, is what I was
SVU,
thinking of.
No, okay. Max, you also totally misunderstand what I'm saying. I said I like the sound of that if it can be pulled off. No matter what, if I say I like the sound of something in a show, of course I mean if it's done right. Jesus Christ. Anything, if it's done badly, is not gonna be good. What are you saying?
I'm saying this people have a background of trying to do that thing good and fucking failing, like real bad.
No, but
a track record of doing the other thing, which is making a good show, having Daredevil be Daredevil.
But if they couldn't make that well, then I'm not going to trust them to make it well anyway, in any way, because the people.
Then why would you think it's good? Why would you like that?
I like the idea of it on paper.
You like the concept.
I like the concept. I'm saying I think that could actually work. It'd be interesting to see more of his day-to-day life when he's not out beating criminals on the street, because there is more to his life than that. And there is actually a hefty amount of lawyer stuff in Daredevil. There are a lot of courtroom scenes in that show.
I know. I watched, but my conditioning is I watched lawyer reacts to Daredevil and say, all right, 2 seconds in, completely wrong.
No, I did watch that, actually. I watched a lawyer reaction to Daredevil. But he also had some good things to say, but like then there are also things like they would never be allowed to stand that close to the stand, blah, blah, blah. And so obviously, yeah. But my dad, who's a lawyer, enjoys it, so.
Your dad's a nice person.
My dad enjoys damn good television.
Okay.
And also doesn't enjoy bad television.
Okay.
He didn't like She-Hulk. It's not like he's just handing
You
out.
made him watch that?
He watched it with us.
Bruh.
I didn't make him. We all wanted
That show
to.
sucks dick. I haven't even watched it. I know that show sucks
Oh,
dick.
it does.
Should I?
You can.
Of my cinema list, which includes The Northman, Nomadland, Better
This
Call
was
Saul.
still in the era that was like the last thing I watched when I was still watching like everything Marvel did, I think. That was the one where it's like, okay, it's not worth watching Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania for the sake of being caught up. It's like,
You didn't watch that?
no.
Oh, dude, it's so good. You should watch it. We should watch it together. the coolest scene that was in the trailer wasn't even in the movie.
Well, I saw clips of MODOK, okay? I'm not watching that shit. Okay. No way they did my boy MODOK.
MODOK was an interesting villain in the Spider-Man animated show.
Yeah, because it was MODOK. It wasn't this guy. It wasn't...
In the Spider-Man animated show and the game for Xbox 360 where you had the little the little things that you would place down and you would become the characters.
Yep. You know what MODOK stands for?
Method of something, I forget.
Machine organism designed only for killing.
Right. It's
a comic book.
Dude, on paper, on comics, this shit sucks so bad.
Yeah.
That shit sucks so bad. Again, animated show, he's a cool villain. In the video game, he was kind of a cool villain if he was in it. I think he was, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Did you ever watch that Spider-Man animated show that they used to air on Disney XD?
Ultimate Spider-Man? Hell yeah.
Was that Ultimate Spider-Man?
And
there's some episodes with
the schizophrenic Spider-Man show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And dude, the episodes with Daredevil were so good. I think I watched
Maybe
one of them.
Daredevil's a really interesting character.
5 times over. He is, but then it's also showed like Spider-Man, but he finally is figuring out how to use his webs as a glider.
Yep.
And do grenades and stuff, web grenades, and Daredevil's just going through and killing everyone.
Daredevil doesn't kill, but okay.
Not you Deadpool. It's a shame shit, dude.
You're talking about the episodes with Deadpool? I was confused because I didn't think Daredevil was in that show.
Deadpool. I meant Deadpool.
Yeah, very different people, and yeah, he was just killing. Yep, yeah. They did do Deadpool in that show. Was it Nolan North who voiced him in that? You don't care.
No, I think it was Nolan North.
That makes sense. Yeah.
If it's a good character, it's voiced by Nolan North. Or Jeffrey Wright, or Clancy Brown,
or Troy Baker.
Yep. Or Mark Hamill,
or Kevin.
We are
Conroy.
being too sexist. We need women. We need more women voice actors.
Now all of a sudden,
Tara Strong. I'm covered. Your turn.
I checked her Instagram and she posted some interesting things on her story. But yeah, Tara Strong.
Did she?
Cool.
What do you mean by that?
I don't even remember, but it was political, and I wasn't a fan.
Oh right, I think she has questionable politics. Whatever.
But what else? Fucking what's her name? I did Troy Baker. What's the other one? No, Ashley Johnson. There. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
She's great. I realize how much she is. Like, she's the voice of Tara in Teen Titans. I didn't know that, and now I can't
really
hear it whenever I hear Ellie speak.
Teen Titans Go or Teen Titans?
Both.
I never watched the original Teen Titans. I need to. It's not high up on my list though. What I am doing is
watching
I watched
Teen Titans
a little
Go.
bit.
Which is odd. I don't
way
understand.
too much of that show.
No, I don't understand why a bunch of people hate that show. It's so good.
Because but it's more targeted towards
but
kids.
It's also genuinely funny too.
I know, like when they kill Batman's parents.
Yeah, no, and Titans, brush your teeth, and then they use hairbrushes on their teeth, and they're like no, with toothbrushes. Since when are there brushes for teeth? Beats me. I didn't know tooths had hair on them till just now.
Yeah, you're kind of proving that.
It's so funny. Right. It's so funny.
It's God. I watched a little bit of The Man in the High Castle.
You mentioned this. We talked about this on the pod. Yeah.
Yes. But then, and I locked my door, so whoever's trying to get in can't. After I watched a little bit of that, I didn't really love it, and I thought, why not go after some closer to the source material stuff, some more IP based stuff, and I started playing Wolfenstein, and I'm a few hours in, and I fucking love that game, dude. Have you played?
I actually did play it right. Story time. So when the pandemic happened, right at the end of my 8th grade, right? I was already accepted to Bullis.
Scamdemic.
So I was like, why would I care about my grades in this stupid middle school 8th grade since I'm already...
Was that the game that... Dude.
Listen. Already. So I basically, and then also, so I didn't do any work in a few of the classes. And then something else that happened is, My mom had like broken her phone, right? So while it was broken, she would check her email on my phone. I let her do that. And then when she got a new phone, her email was still on my phone. So whenever there was an email from the school to her about my missing work, I got rid of it. It evaporated. But then, on the literal last day of school, one email got through to her because I was distracted playing Wolfenstein.
Dude, you're such a fucking snake.
And then, you want to know the worst part? I was able to get all of the work done in less than 2 days.
Yeah, no shit, of course.
Because it was stupid online work. And that's the worst part because I could have just done that shit. So, lesson learned, kids. Do your work.
You're such a scumbag. God. Oh, I
And
can't
I
trust
almost-
you with fucking anything.
And I almost got away with it too.
That,
If it weren't for those,
dude, as much as
that
you like
meddling
Batman
Wolfenstein.
and you like Daredevil, you are just a
They-
fucking liar.
They lie to their loved ones all the time. Do you not
Yeah,
remember
but
the
they feel
whole episode?
morally conflicted about it.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't like lying to them.
You bruh.
Do you not remember that episode of Daredevil when Foggy's literally crying when he finds out that Matt's been lying to him? And
Yeah, I do.
and he's like, "Is this what you do when you call us? When we call you, you just click ignore." Yeah. So
God, you're such a scumbag.
I was doing important things.
You weren't.
You were just about to talk about how great this game is.
Wolfenstein is Stein.
Yeah.
It's very good. All
The
right.
story's not
I
all
really-
that, but it's fun.
No, actually, I think you need to replay it. The
Unless
story
I
is
didn't-
much more engaging.
I don't know if I played the
And-
original, actually.
Did you play New Order, which is the 2014 one?
I played New Order.
That actually, I know, I like it. The original one's from like fucking 89. I like it. I like the story. I like the way it develops. I like playing through it. I think it's fun. I think I like killing Nazis as aggressively and
Uh-huh.
dude. I'm dueling. I get to dual wield shotguns and then shoot Nazis in the fucking head. I have a laser gun. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
I recommend it to all who partake in the gaming.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just really good. Me and my brother have been trying to beat a fucking dungeon from Destiny. I think we've probably put 40 to 60 actual real hours into it,
Yeah.
at least. Maybe closer to 100. And the thing is, we beat it on his account, we beat it together, and he got the exotic item and I didn't. Which means we have to keep redoing it until I get it.
Uh-huh.
But he also just switched to mouse and keyboard.
Oh.
So it's miserably difficult now.
Mm.
And it's a Vesper's Host dungeon for anyone that plays Destiny 2. It is some
Nobody
fucking
plays that.
bullshit. It has actually a ton of active players.
I know. I was kidding. My God.
I know, but you made me think about it. It is such fucking bullshit. So I need to explain this to you because it's been so annoying to me. Basically, there's little puppeteers. This is the boss fight. In the boss fight, there's basically these not giant, they're probably 8 feet tall machine men that have a cloud of radiation around them that if it gets to 10, so if they're around you for 10 consecutive seconds, or spread out a little bit because it doesn't go away immediately, they're nuclear bombs and you just explode. You literally just explode and have to wipe your entire run. And that's phase 1.
Yep.
Once you get to the other phases, by killing them by literally putting down a decoy, killing the decoy, and then killing them.
Yep.
Once you get to the next phase, you have to shoot a bunch of hidden panels
Uh-huh.
to get the guy to spawn 4 more of the nuclear boys, scan them all in one big room to try to find the right one, and then deposit a nuclear core, which is fine. It's fine. It's not that hard.
It's fine.
And then the actual boss fight, he has 16 million health, by the way, which is more than any other character in the game, like by far. 16 million is a fuck ton.
Yeah, that's a big number.
Yeah. The actual boss fight, randomly around the map, will be 5 pools of lightning that as soon as they come down, if you're inside the center of it, you just instantly die. as well as fields of lightning that hit like majority of the lanes of the map. So randomly, you will get hit by lightning. You just will. And for context about how much health 16 million is. My super, which is the highest damaging super in the video game, the highest one, does 600,000. I super once every single boss phase. This is not a short fight.
No.
He does a thing where if you're not either in a specific room with a nuclear core or back in the center of the base, he will stick his arm up and you have 5 seconds to run or it wipes your entire run. It just completely wipes it. Kills everyone in the lobby. Instantly. It is some fucking bullshit. Anyways, that's kind of it. I just I needed to.
You want to notice something? Can you?
Sure.
You notice how when you went on a rant about something that you're interested in that a lot of other people won't find particularly interesting, I don't fucking snore.
You weren't really listening. I think
no,
you
actually,
thought at that point, and then you started eating chips.
These are pretzels, you son of a bitch. And
Same shit.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Pretzels are blessed by Jesus because everybody likes them, but the bowl is always full. You've never noticed that?
No.
Anyway, okay, so last weekend we did a murder mystery party.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, on Sunday. And so basically it was Wild Western themed, right? And I was cast as the deputy sheriff. The honest and simple deputy sheriff was the description.
Don't say simple.
That was the description.
It's a hurtful way to describe people.
And I was not the brightest character. And
it's like literally how every character describes Jerry in Rick and Morty. He's a nice, stupid man.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Well, that's what my character's literally described as stupid. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
Like that's the character I was playing. But Mike,
I believe
Micah,
you. I just
Micah
don't
was
like
also
the
playing a character,
language.
A gambler, and he was really excited to be a gambling addict. But before the day of, Micah gets on his knees and begs me, Alci, please be subtly racist towards me. Please. It would be so funny. Wild West. Please, Alci, on his knee. And Micah's not here, by the way. He went out with people because he's finally like hanging out with people instead of just playing Roblox every day. So
fucking gross.
Big claps for Micah. But now, the aura of the podcast is down. But and then of course I knew what he was gonna do. I was like, if I do this, you're gonna deny it in the moment. Because he does that shit. But yeah, he brought me outside and shot me in the back, by the way, during the game. So he lost my trust. I knew there was something off about that guy.
I saw my roommate once last week and we did not exchange words.
Fun. Mike and I say love you before we leave.
I say love you to my dorm mates. That's funny.
That's kind of weird.
No, it's not. They're my friends.
The killers got away with it, unfortunately. Because I had to play dumb.
That's like most murder mystery games.
Yeah,
okay.
No, it's because it was also just the most obvious people. Even they were annoyed about it. The most obvious people were the murderers instead of something a little more nuanced, which was really annoying. And
I heard Reese was mean to you.
Oh, well, yeah, because Reese's
sorry.
character was supposed to not like me. So Reese was really mean to me during the game. And there was something that pissed everybody off when Micah took me outside and killed me. I was like, tell the bartender. Elijah was the bartender, the one who runs everything. I was like, Micah, go inside, tell the bartender right now. I swear this is not going to go the way you think. And I used my ability that had 3 uses called 'Tis But a Flesh Wound, which meant that any critical injury done to me during the game, I could just undo it.
That sounds extremely fucking
So
broken.
I walk outside, and then DJ, who ended up being the murderer, by the way, immediately is like, I want to challenge him to a duel. And then wins the duel. And I'm like, hey, guess what, guys? It was just a flesh wound, guys. So they were all really annoyed at me because I did that 3 times in a row. And then
Bruh.
I gave Nate my health kit so that he could use it on me 4 times if I needed to do it. So I was just like, so we're gonna stop fighting now because it's not gonna work. I'm unkillable. We've got a lot of spare flesh here.
Okay, and they still thought you were potentially a guy? How did they not immediately know it was Micah and DJ?
Well, everybody knew Micah cheated at the poker game that caused the thing, but he definitely wasn't the killer, and he didn't end up being the killer, but he worked for the killer.
He shot you just for fun? Or because he owed money?
He just shot me. He just wanted to.
Oh, dope. I kind of want to do that.
And then he
like,
told
in
me
real
that
life.
somebody else who was already killed paid him off. So I tried to revive that person. They were like, no, if they killed you, we should just let them die. And then I'm like, well, I want to revive them so that we can see, for one thing, why they wanted to kill me. And for one thing, if they really did it, they might, deny it. And of course, they didn't actually do it.
Well, you're a stupid character, so someone says, no, we shouldn't do that, and you say, you're right.
Well, no, I did play dumb. I think I would have put shit together more, but I decided to just tell people shit because I was simple and honest. So I would just tell people evidence I had, which I wouldn't have actually done.
I hate being kind of like the attention hog ADHD kid in an environment like that because everyone always assumes I'm a murderer. Everyone always assumes it.
No,
I mean, I think you've been there when people just assume that I kill, like for fun.
no. Well, a lot of people thought I was the murderer, but DJ did raise the point. I was like, you really think they're gonna give the murderer that ability? That'd be so unfair.
That'd be so fucking broken. That'd be so funny. It'd be so funny.
Yeah.
Look at your topics.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Amelia Perez, another theory for why I might be getting so many nominations more than just wokeism. They apparently, we even talked about this, but I don't know why I didn't say this, but like they did use AI to touch up the actors' performances, which means that if it gets a bunch of awards.
No, we talked about that. Yeah.
No, but if it gets a bunch of awards, it also validifies? Validates. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. It also validates the use of AI to alter actors' performances.
That shit's fucking gross.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's an agenda in many ways. What did you think of the Fantastic Four trailer? Did you see it?
No.
You want to do a live reaction?
I don't like watching trailers.
Okay, never mind then. It looks pretty good. I like the design of the thing. Some people hate it, but it's also just comic accurate, so... And some people don't like that.
I'm tired of this appeasing comic fan shit.
Sometimes some people are annoyed that the guy, from The Bear who plays Cousin in The Bear is not doing like a dark gravelly voice while he's the Thing, but I like it a lot that he's just using his normal voice.
Cousin plays the Thing?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Oh, that's dope.
You should also watch The Punisher Season 1 because he's also in The Punisher Season 1 and he's one of the best parts. I've never seen something with this actor that I didn't love.
Bad.
Yeah, he's also in Andor, the first season of Andor.
Andor's the only season that's out.
Well, yeah.
Andor's so good. Fucking love Andor, dude.
This guy does not fucking miss Eben Moss Backrack. Yeah, that's his name.
What a funny name.
Yeah.
Are you watching the Super Bowl?
Why would I do that?
Because sports, dude. The Chiefs might be the first team to ever win a triple back-to-back-to-back.
That means nothing to me. And I mean that with full honesty. Sorry, people, if it means something to you, that's cool. I personally does not affect my life in any way. I'd rather talk about the Fantastic Four because that's obviously more important.
Okay, I want to talk about some images I sent in my topic channel.
Oh, okay.
First one.
You scared me for a second.
Get back with your ex, fuck the haters, fuck Wasians, fuck New Jersey.
Yeah. Where'd you get that image from?
Twitter?
Yeah.
I'm a fan of every single message.
Get back with your ex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck the Wasians. You know what that is?
Yeah, a white Asian person. She's like, what do you think I am?
Yeah. Just every element of that's pretty stellar.
I think 3 of the 4 things are pretty stellar. Because Max, if I sent that image, you would have a talking to with me.
No, I wouldn't.
I would say, yeah, look at this. I love the message to get back with my ex. I would love to get back with my ex. You wouldn't be happy with that.
You're welcome to try. I don't care because I know you can't. Anyways.
And you can? Interesting.
I have a higher chance than you. I'm not. Anyways, yeah, you're sulky about
I'm gonna
that.
believe you.
The other thing I sent was, oh, dude. All right, I had an identity crisis. So,
Again.
yeah, I've been having a lot of these. Maybe I'm just insecure right now. Not even maybe, I just am. I thought of the roast of Max that happened in class,
Mm-hmm.
and how I came across like an adult, like an old man.
Yeah.
This is
I've
pretty
got-
common feedback.
I've gotten that as well, by the way.
From me, or you've gotten the same feedback?
I've gotten the same feedback from people. Various ages. Some people just call me it. Okay, depending on the intelligence level of the person, some people just say that I sound like an old, and then there's lower intelligence. Lower intelligence, the older they call me. Essentially, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except for one pretty high intelligence group was my screenwriting class. They did say that I talked like a 60-year-old man.
Yeah. And so this is feedback I've gotten. I got thinking about kind of the women that I attract.
Oh,
And
you never
for the
haven't
most part,
realized this? I think I already know where
It's-
you're going.
It's women with father issues.
You haven't realized this?
And I didn't realize why. And
I was literally
it makes
I
a
was
lot of
literally
sense.
we did a like polls, like awards for our friend group at the end of the first semester at college here. I was literally voted dad of the friend group. And that just makes me feel gross.
How do we appeal more to like the youth? How do I act more like
You don't say things like that. How do you do,
Wearing
fellow
fucking
kids?
sweater
How do
vest. I am one of you. I am hip. I am dope.
How do
I'm
I
on trank.
how do I appeal to the youth as if you are not one of them, dude? Like, what do you
I mean, it's different. I'm not, dude. Like,
I do
was
think
like,
you're a
I saw
little
guy
worse than
walking
me in
Costco.
terms of old manness. I do think, like, let's be
I
honest.
saw a guy
You were
walking
wearing a
out
sweater.
of Costco.
Like,
I saw a man walking out of Costco. I have a bookshelf behind me. I saw a man walking out of Costco, and he was just on the phone. He was like, "God, you're such a fucking bitch, dude." And then you're like, "Man," and it's just like, "Huh." Like, I could never in a conversation actually call someone that isn't you like those words
yeah.
in public.
No, I could never. Yeah,
And it's
that,
like-
that it grosses me out. It disgusts me.
It's just like I don't know. It's maybe we're just bisexual, which I don't
I
think
am
is
not
true.
bisexual.
You have made out with equal men and women.
I've not. I was gonna say I've never made out with a man, but I did make out with a man. I've kissed a couple men, but I've only made out with one,
Okay. Anyways,
and that might be a joke. It might not be.
it
you'll never
isn't.
know.
See, David Sedaris, who's a really funny comedy writer, would say that we are the future of America's homosexuals. It's pretty funny. It's just, yeah. So I don't know. It's just,
I may be going to a gay club tonight again, so we'll see.
you talk about it every fucking episode.
No,
There's-
I actually
these aren't
we
even
hadn't
allegations, dude.
gone in a while actually.
The closet is see-through.
But I might meet up with a girl there, so fuck you.
Straight girl.
A girl that's attracted to men, at least. I'm not gonna make any assumptions on whether she's also attracted to women yet.
Oh god.
But if she's
Yeah.
interested in me, chances are probably not straight.
Yeah, and probably has father issues.
Because there were only 3 girls out of all the women I'd ever talked to who were straight. And now it's 2 because one of them recently started dating a woman. So
Wait, who? Message me who, if I know them.
you don't.
Okay. I want to talk about a different thing. Did you see the thing I sent in the Max's topic? And it starts with a sailor.
Oh yeah.
A sailor using an Xbox 360 controller to control the photonic mass of the USS Colorado in 2018. It's the first submarine to use this Xbox controller.
Well, to use this Xbox controller.
Yeah,
What about other Xbox controllers?
that's what I was going to talk about.
Is this a common
So-
thing?
So submarines are some of the most I've been kind of obsessed with. I'm kind of a not naval, just a military vehicle autist.
That's
And I,
another
like, have
that's another
been for
old
a
man
while.
thing. That's another old man quality.
Yeah, I've been watching documentaries on nuclear-powered vehicles since I was, like, 4. Submarines are really interesting to me because they can go 1,000 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
They can house hundreds of people for, like, 8 months without surfacing.
Yeah.
They don't need oxygen. They don't need sunlight. They have nuclear power. They can launch nukes.
Yep.
So I was doing a deep dive into the new class, which is called the Virginia class submarines and whatnot.
Yep.
And I came across this one, where it's controlled by an Xbox for the first time. And I see that the U.S. Navy and the Marines have a history of commanding these ginormous vessels
With
of the
Xbox
most sophisticated technology, using Xbox controllers, using a Logitech controller. I don't think a PlayStation controller goes as worse, but it's all just
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Why not?
Because it's analog. It's fucking analog joysticks.
Yeah, but,
there's
like-
controller drift.
but, like-
there's like so many reasons as to why not.
Our modern generations of military are going to have a lot of experience using those.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I do think more about it. And remember, you weren't at Bullis yet. In 8th grade, there was a U.S. Air Force recruiting event at Bullis,
Okay.
which was crazy because it was 8th grade.
Yeah.
But it was the Air Force Academy. They showed us the built-in flight sim that they have in literally every single dorm. And it was an Alienware gaming computer. There was an Xbox controller. There was a full center console cock joystick.
Of course.
And there was a VR headset. Like an Oculus VR headset. And so it's just like permanent gamer tech used to teach kids to fly fighter jets. And you know what? It was actually pretty effective and pretty fun.
I'm glad.
It's just fucking crazy because it's like, okay, on one hand, you have the ability to end all life on Earth sitting behind you in a rocket.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, you have an Xbox 360 controller controlling where you direct said missiles. It's fucking insane.
Honestly, wait, that's actually kind of genius, controlling the missile itself with an Xbox controller.
No, it wouldn't, because it'd be like, all right,
Well,
Jim,
otherwise it's a
I saw this in
kamikaze.
Fortnite. We are trying rocket riding. It was in the earlier seasons.
It's
You
called
just gotta jump
kamikaze,
on.
dude.
Sure. And it was fucking crazy, dude. It's fucking nuts.
Yep.
I need to find
You're
women
really
that
close to
don't
the
have
camera.
other issues.
I've been looking. Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Max. Audio listeners, Max is making things really difficult for me in post.
Yes, I am.
And I know our video watchers do not want to see that much of you.
That's not a very nice thing to say. Also, I already shifted it during the episode, so you're gonna have to deal with that too.
I know. I noticed. You do it often, actually. You do it pretty often. We're just halfway through. You're like, you know
Kanye.
what? I'm not happy with this. Oh, yeah.
Kanye.
Well, okay, so for
Kanye.
one thing, talking about Kanye kind of feels like, because obviously he's just doing this for attention. I mean, look at this. We're talking about him. It works.
I don't think he wants attention.
I
don't
think
he's
he
an
is a
attention type
fucking
of person.
attention hog. Do you? What? Who are
I don't
we
think that's
talking
true.
about? Kanye
No.
West doesn't like attention?
I
What
wanna
are you
show
talking
oh,
about?
God. I'm gonna grab my phone. I want to show you something really funny.
I can't believe Max is saying Kanye West doesn't like attention right now.
How many tweets have you seen Kanye post? Because there's a few that I want to talk
I
about.
scrolled through a few with Micah, and we were just laughing at them, and he was just like, you know, the first, if it were just a couple, you could argue that he'd been hacked, but you know, he's doing this, and we were just like, well, honestly, I don't know, I don't even remember. I'm so tired. What do you mean Kanye West doesn't like attention? What the fuck are you talking about? Did you see?
I don't think that's true.
Did you see what he had his wife wear to the fucking Grammys?
Or not wear.
Exactly.
So
He's doing this for attention, and it's working.
Okay, so there's the one that was I am a Nazi.
Yeah.
That one was kind of boring.
Well,
Then there was increasing. The one that's repeated, this was an old one, was that slavery was a choice. That one is at least a little more interesting in like the Black Panther kind of way. The one I thought most unhinged was the one saying that rape was a choice.
oh, I didn't see that one. I just saw Hitler
And
is
was
so
also fake.
fresh.
It's certified fresh.
Well, I also saw another
wanna
one
s-
with Micah where he was replying to another tweet that said something about him being black, and he was like, racist, right after talking about how cool Hitler was.
Yep, and then he said that he wanted free puff. I sent you something, by the way.
Saying that's a tortoise as it's actively swimming. What is
Put
this
your headphones
real?
on and you listen to it. You listen to it.
Whoa! A turtle! That's a tortoise. That's a turtle. That's a tortoise. That's a fucking turtle. I just made a diorama on reptiles. I know everything about turtles.
Okay.
Wonder why I may have sent this to you.
Did you see it? Did you see a turtle?
My brother sent in the family group chat, this is so Max, and have been making fun of me constantly of that's a fucking turtle. Of just a personified version of me that corrects and then acts like an expert.
I made a diorama on this. I know everything there is to know about turtles.
And I want you, my friend, to either confirm and or deny the prevalence of these motions.
It is kind of you, but here's what I'll say. Watching that video, I find the kid who insists that it's a tortoise a little more annoying.
Yeah, me too, because he's also wrong.
Yeah, but, you know.
And talking to an expert.
Yeah. But I think they're also both children and annoying.
As opposed to you, who's a cool adult.
I'd never said that. I hate it. I hate that I'm technically an adult. No, I'm not. I'm a child. 18 as an adult? No.
You know what I don't like?
What?
How the cover for that one Nirvana album has a baby penis on it.
It does?
Yeah,
I don't know. I wasn't looking at that. Clearly, you really took something out of that image, I guess.
Never mind. Just, why'd you need that? It's kind of weird.
What, you're going to tell a baby to put it away?
That would be so funny. Would just be like a 3-year-old like waddling into a coffee shop completely naked.
Hey,
sir, this is a place where that requires clothes.
Hey, kid, put the mouse back in the house.
That's like when I was coming up with terms for Moyle, I came up with tip snipper, which I kind of like.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of the rewrite. Do you like your dorm situation at LSU?
It's definitely one of the better ones in some. Okay, so I have a lot more room in my dorm than a lot of people, but that's also because I don't have my own personal bathroom. So there's a give and a take.
Do a lot of dorms have personal bathrooms?
Well, bathrooms for you and your roommate.
Do a lot of dorms have bathrooms for you and your roommate?
Yeah, but it means the room itself is smaller.
That's a thing?
You didn't know that was a thing?
It's okay. For context, that's a thing at Georgetown, but it's for freshmen. That's a thing that I might have to take my meds. That's a thing that you get if you get in one of the one of 6 housing options. So if you're one of the lucky people who get in the like ancient building, which also has asbestos, all the buildings have asbestos now. You get a one that is a bathroom shared with basically 4 rooms share a bathroom.
Of course.
But if you're unlucky like me, it's 25 share a bathroom. Which sucks. It's really bad, and it's super gross. That's why I don't stay there. And also, Harvard's housing kind of sucks. Princeton's housing is kind of a gamble. Penn's housing is also kind of a shot in the dark. I've heard.
Yeah.
Most housing is kind of dick.
Yeah.
UMD's housing is fucking
I'm
ass.
fairly happy with my housing.
Do you like the food on campus?
Not particularly.
Do you like the Big Cheesy?
No.
But you keep going back to the Big Cheesy.
No, I've only ever eaten there once.
Really?
I walk.
You talk about it a lot.
I walk by it a lot. I've only
that's-
been inside it like 3 times, and only one of those times I was eating it there, and most of it, and my friends were eating there. But I was saying no thanks. I don't really trust it. And
It's a good call.
lo and behold, stomach issues for my friends.
Yep.
After Big Cheese.
Well, it's also a grilled cheese. I mean, it's kind of you're inviting it at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's dairy.
But yeah, no, I but then at my dining hall, they have fruits and vegetables, but they're not the fruitiest of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, it's similar to the kid at Georgetown that got scurvy.
Oh, some veg? You mean rabbit food? Ha ha ha. So I'm quoting.
That's the
quoting
same thing
Wallace
as
and
the thing
Gromit.
from
I'm quoting Wallace and Gromit.
the version of that from Ron Swanson was "You've given me the food that my food eats," which is a funnier way to say that. It's a funny guy.
The
I
dirtier,
really
the
like
better.
Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman's I really like. Nick
He's a funny
Offerman.
guy.
And I like Hugh Laurie from House, and I like House.
You do. It's too
House
bad about
is-
that terrible thing that came out about Hugh Laurie.
Nothing came out
I
about
know,
Hugh Laurie.
but you always have to ruin celebrities for me.
Fucking yeah, you missed me with that fucking bullshit. Don't even try. You hit me with someone, I'll tell you the controversy. But my guys are clean.
And they always will be, and you're totally not
Except for
wrong.
the writers of Rick and Morty, which doesn't count.
They're your guys.
This show's good, man.
You can
It's
like
just
people's
funny.
content and art without liking the people.
We had the conversation about this in my comedy class.
I don't know what to tell you. Bill Cosby, pretty funny guy.
I don't even think that's true.
He's kind
I think
of a
that
funny guy.
I don't know.
It's great.
I think about
Make us chocolate cake.
that's not funny. That's just rhyming.
That's out of
Like-
context. I was just quoting him. Jesus Christ.
I think the best example of a piece of shit who's really funny might be Nick Mullen
What about
and Adam Friedland in Stavros Halkias.
what about Louis C.K.? I don't really know that he's a piece of shit, but he just gives that vibe.
Oh, he's a mega piece of shit.
Yep.
Like, would jerk off in front of women without their permission. No, sorry. He would ask permission and they would say no, and he would do it anyways.
Oh.
Yeah, he did that a few times. He would run around naked with Sarah Silverman in New York.
I don't know who that is, but cool.
And he's not she voices Wreck-It Ralph, the girl in Wreck-It
Oh.
Ralph.
Okay.
She's also one of the most famous stand-up comedians that are women.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's also a writer. It doesn't matter. Louis C.K. he had some kind of funny bits, kind of, not a ton, but if we're going highest asshole to funny ratio, I
Okay.
think Adam Friedland, Nick Mullen, Stavros Halkias, because those guys are pieces of shit. Let me tell you, they are pieces of shit.
Okay.
Half their jokes are about rape.
That's probably
But-
why I don't know him.
Come town.
Oh, and you love those guys.
And they occasionally they hit.
I see.
At minute 25 of Nick Mullen doing an Indian accent, it gets pretty funny. I think I told you this. It's the Indian call scammer who's calling,
Uh-huh.
and then he starts asking for feet pictures.
Uh-huh.
He just starts accidentally having phone sex,
Uh-huh.
and it's really funny. It's a really funny guy. But on the other end of the spectrum is probably someone who is objectively funnier, who manages to be a cunt in the right ways.
Yeah.
Have you heard of? Do you know Larry David's biggest issue with trans people on Curb Your Enthusiasm?
What?
They can choose to have bigger penises.
True.
Isn't that fair? They can
That's
have
not
a
fair
13
at all.
That's not fair competition. It's not. What the hell?
They should have to. They should have to roll a dice.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's how you do that in a way that's pretty funny, and it's not actually targeting a protected group.
Mm-hmm.
I read a book about rape. It was not very funny the weekend.
Why?
It was required for class.
For your comedy class?
Yes.
Interesting curriculum there.
He said the funniest part of it that he thought was, the hashtag Me Too movement?
Uh-huh. That shit's hilarious, isn't it?
The hashtag is kind of like a pound sign, so it could also be read as pound me too.
Fuck.
Which isn't, I would not classify that as that funny.
No.
It's just like, oh, that's interesting. It's originally in Spanish, so that's probably why it's
The fuck? What?
not as funny in English. Yeah, it's kind of shitty. It's just a shitty book.
Pound me también.
Pardon? Moi aussi. Je ne comprends pas. Yeah,
God.
it's interesting because my professor is kind of such a fucking cockhead, but then he's like, he switches, and he can be really graphic in class. He was like, so a lot of books are pretty phallic focused. They're dick focused. This is some good vag material. Like, this is some good pussy core reading.
Okay.
And he's just not very funny.
Okay.
He can be sometimes funny,
Hey,
but not really.
Those who can't do, teach.
He would agree to that, though. They can't. And his biggest is, I don't want to get into it.
Yes, you do, but okay.
I want to, but I won't. I'm choosing not to, objectively.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I think I've run out of topics too. God damn. I hate it.
Me too, but we
I hate it when this
also
happens.
need to go for
I hate it.
barely
I hate
15
it when
more
this
minutes.
happens. I hate it. I hate it when this
Can I get into
happens.
politics? I really wanted to get into politics.
You can try, but I'm gonna switch the topic as soon as you remind me of something more interesting.
Okay, cool. The flight shit, the planes that have been crashing. There's been a ton of planes crashing. I think I told you about one that happened last episode, the one that had happened like that hour. Okay, Trump immediately blamed it on DEI.
Well, obviously.
Because a single one of the pilots of the helicopter was a woman.
And
the other co-pilot was a white man. The pilot of the planes were white men. The air traffic controllers were white men.
well, I see one variable there that clearly messed up the whole operation.
Of course. So that shit's fucking crazy. Trump's talked about annexing Canada and Mexico, then back down on it. He is continuing to talk about annexing Greenland,
Uh-huh.
which is fucking crazy.
Yep.
Then, the craziest thing, I would say, was the fact that he had Benjamin Netanyahu, who I'm not a fan of, who most Israelis are not a fan of, in the White House, giving him a hug and pulling out his chair, and then said that the U.S. should send troops and colonize Gaza and displace every person that's living there, all 2 million.
All right.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah, that is pretty fucking wild.
That is fucking wild. Like, Carter, Bush, these guys have said fucking crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Now watch me hit this drive.
That's now watch this drive. It's just insane. Closing all aid from like most governmental organizations, literally prosecuting the people who went after you, like firing Jack Smith and that team immediately as soon as you get into the office.
Oh, yeah.
You're saying, nope, you're gone. As soon as you can. It's just fucking It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. Oh my god.
What happened?
There was another plane crash.
Like just now?
I just saw it. Did you know about the Alaska plane crash?
No.
There was a crash, apparently. On Friday.
Yeah.
10 people died for that crash.
This is a
There was
comedy
another one.
podcast.
There was... Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I saw an article titled
Officers on horseback chase down suspect. You want to talk about that?
Like for plane crashing?
No. This was just someone who was running away from the police, but
And then the
police
cavalry
would
was
force
called?
it.
And then
Literally. Yeah. And then the officers are literally saying, "You're not going to outrun us. We're on a fucking horse."
Can't even go off road. Yeah. Geez, I also saw an article title recently. It just I didn't read the article. I just thought the title was hilarious. It was Finn Wolfhard, which is one of the Stranger Things kids.
I know Finn Wolfhard, yeah.
Finn Wolfhard says he wants to star in God of War adaptation. Quote, I'd bulk up.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that. That was really funny. Yeah.
What do you love so much about Wallace and Gromit?
I love the period of time kind of that I would watch it, because I would watch it in lower school during hour-and-a-half art classes.
That's how you know this guy's upper middle class. He calls it lower school.
In primary education.
That's even worse. Okay, Dad.
What would the poor say?
What would the dirty peasants say?
In my K through 5 program, we had super long art classes, and they would show, there was 2 teachers. There's Jeff and there's Lisa. Jeff and Lisa, both really, really nice people who were good at art. Mm-hmm. Jeff would show old episodes of Full House.
Fun.
Is Full House the one with the 3 sisters and 3 brothers?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No, it's not Full House. It's fucking
Brady Bunch.
Brady Bunch. He would show old episodes of like the original Brady Bunch. Lisa would show original Wallace and Gromit.
Nice, but there's
much
less content for that.
Much less. But I don't know. We would watch that, and I would be painting, or I would be doing clay, and I would be talking to the pretty girl that would sit next to me about Panic at the Disco.
Dude. And
it was a hoot and a holler.
That's awesome. You know, honestly, not even most of the Wallace and Gromit content I saw, I rated about 3.5 stars on Letterboxd, right?
Sure.
The Wrong Trousers, unironically, I gave it 5 stars. That was a 10 out of 10 experience. I fucking loved it. It was perfect. Perfect. Okay, now you're gone.
Yeah, I pulled up an Onion article and I was confused by the title.
What's
I was trying
the
to
title?
find funny stuff. Pioneering female archaeologist in Google Doodle bears silent witness to man search for Zootopia porn. And then it got me thinking about Zootopia porn.
Thoughts?
As far as furry shit goes, I've seen worse.
You've seen worse? You're looking at this stuff?
No. I wouldn't do that.
Okay. Well, Max loves him some Judy Hopps, I guess.
It's the fox, but
oh, fair enough. That I understand.
Do you know how many women have basically talked about that? Anyways, do you want to watch this video of someone running away from an officer on a horseback?
It's not fun having to insert videos, but sure.
Welcome back, Lithon Earth. We were gone because Alci decided he needed to take a shit right then. So he cut everything. In the time I had ability to start the next level of Wolfenstein and then explore an undiscovered area, which is cool.
Yeah. I'm going to watch this video of the horseback now, except there's a 21-second ad playing before. So, yeah. But I'm going to... you want to react to it together? Or no?
Not particularly. It was funny. She's like, all right, Nash, go get that bad guy. And she's just chasing a bad guy on a horse. Just, this is a funny concept.
Oh my god, it's so shaky.
Yeah, well, of course it's a
get
fucking
that bad
horse. Man. Get the evil man. Get the evil guy. Go. It's just really funny.
Get that bad man.
Because it's like, we have bullet trains. And there's some people chasing people on fucking horseback. And there's this guys think he's going to outrun a fucking horse in the middle of a city. It's just really funny. But...
well, they chased him for a quarter mile before he gave up, it's saying.
A quarter mile is not that far. That's like
I know, but I'm
1,200
saying,
feet.
like... I know, but still. Like, the fact that they... even say... I just think that's funny.
It is very funny. But do you know who Michael Reeves is?
Maybe?
He is a YouTuber who builds crazy shit.
Ah.
So he made a
It's ringing a
robot
bell.
that screams. He bought a Boston
As one
Dynamics. He made a you know those Boston Dynamics dogs?
Mm-hmm.
He got one of them and made it so it pissed beer. Yeah. He's a fucking nut. And his most recent video, he created a chatbot that emotionally manipulates sellers on Facebook Marketplace. And so basically, within the span of 24 hours, it will have 5 different accounts message a seller saying, "Hey, fuckhead, how about I give you 20% of what you're originally charging? Hey, asshole." And he immediately found it was way more successful. And especially, he didn't even, like, sometimes what he would do was he would offer them, like, half. And because the other people were so mean, the robots he created to be mean to people had such an effect, he was just able to get stuff for super cheap. And it got me thinking, like, is that the future? Because I saw another Reddit post that was like, someone called to place an order using the Google AI voice. No, I'm so serious. And they were like, it's kind of great because it speaks clearly, doesn't misinterpret things that you say, and can just say, "Hey, I feel like it
could very easily misinterpret things you say.
Because it doesn't need to hear back. It just says, "Hi, I'd like to set a reservation for 6 people at 5:45 p.m."
Why can you not do that as a human?
Scaled. But also, if you can tell a robot,
this is just creating more social anxiety.
Well, that's true. But if you can tell a robot to say, "Hey, in 10 minutes, call this number and say those things. I'm going to go do something else." That's helpful. It'll save you.
But if you're able to tell the robot to do that, that means you have time to just do it yourself.
That's not. Yeah, that might be fair.
I saw this interview with Jesse Eisenberg recently, where he was talking about how he sometimes just asks ChatGPT questions, and he was waiting in line at a bagel shop in New York, and then they gave him a bagel, and he was wondering if this kind of bagel was healthier than another kind of bagel, but he felt too. Okay, you're adjusting your camera again. He felt too
fixing my focus.
But he felt too socially anxious to just ask the people who work there after he had gotten his bagel, because they were like, "This is a busy place. They already gave me my bagel." So before, when he was just going to ask ChatGPT, which was more healthier, he decided to ask, "Do you think if I had more traumatic experiences in my life and wasn't so pampered that I'd be less scared of social interactions like this?" What do you think the answer to that is?
Yes. Or no. Trauma can actually have adverse effects.
I think it can go either way. It depends on the kind of trauma.
Yeah, trauma can definitely have way more adverse effects on people. I mean, yeah, come on.
Yeah, I do know some people with some trauma that you don't know that definitely it affected them the other way from what Jesse Eisenberg is thinking, but then vice versa.
I know people who is affected both ways.
Yep.
That's interesting. Jesse Eisenberg shouldn't have asked because he's Jewish. I'm so serious. Asking what is healthier of a type of bagel? I mean, come on, dude, like...
I refuse to comment.
His fucking last name is Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Eisenberg.
Not the other day. Last night, I was filming with my friend Ben and one of his friends, and some people came up to us and asked why we had cameras, and we were like, "We're film students," and they were like, "Oh, we make music." And then Ben just went up and talked to them about the possibility of making a music video, and then his friend just goes, "Hey, Ben, your Jewish is showing."
It's a very unique skill, you know. I can work a camera, and I have a business card.
Yeah. No, you got their numbers. So.
Fucking course they did. Fucking boom, lock that shit on fucking lock.
Yep.
We may not be very funny or smell very good, but if you want business
Ben is
done
funny
right,
and smells great.
But if you want business done right, we're your people. Spoken as your producer and co-director on one project. Have you started working on that, by the way?
Yeah, I told you. I literally sent you a meme about it the other day.
I know, but I didn't know if that actually meant you've started working on it.
Why would I be thinking about it if I wasn't?
Because I think you think about it and you're like, I should get around to it, and then you just haven't sat editing.
Well, I do. I started working on that to procrastinate keep editing the Lethal Company video. So
Bruh.
Because I don't know why I thought it was a good idea for us to split up in the Lethal Company video, because that just doubles the amount of footage I have to watch.
That's so much more. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Additionally, I think you'd be surprised by how much editing an editor could do.
I think you'd be surprised by how much money that would cost.
No, not on Fiverr.
Do you think we could pay them $8 a month? Because that's how much we make.
Okay. I think we can crunch the numbers a little bit, move a 10. I think we could try it for an episode.
I don't see the point because
we've already pushed back the release date 2 times.
No, just we officially post on Tuesdays now.
Okay.
What do you mean?
We officially post on Tuesday now on YouTube. This is the worst time
We've
to say
said
that
this already.
because of retention. We said it in the Patreon. Did we say it in the episode?
We didn't say it in the Patreon. We said it in the episode.
You said it on the Patreon. You said in the announcements channel on the Discord.
Oh, I did.
Patreon episode.
But no, literally in the last episode we said that, and then I'm gonna have Reese change the banner. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. My goodness.
This concludes our episode, though.
Is that really the end of our episode? We are ending on a fucking whimper, dude.
Wait, what am I hearing?
Yo, what are you hearing?
Is that me or is that you? Oh,
think
oh
that's
my
you.
god, I'm so stupid. I'm a fucking...
What was that?
I googled 8-minute timer and then got shocked when it ended. I thought you had a fire alarm. What the dude? I'm such a fucking moron. I am too stupid to function. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
This is gonna be a great episode. This is gonna be so great.
This will probably be our biggest one yet.
Yeah, our last episode was actually really good. You guys should go
Our
check that
last
out.
one was really good.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I don't know what happened to this one. But thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, listeners.
We love you guys.